Hi, I'm Mark Moyes from Darn Sock Productions, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Snowballs and Sorcery, which is our latest project. We've been working for about the last 6 months on a prototype with Val from the CMF and the OMDC, and I'm just going to walk you through it and show you some of the cool things that it does, what we were trying to accomplish, all that stuff. So Snowballs and Sorcery is an exciting mashup of two different genres. It's an action game and also our take on a point and click adventure. It opens with this comic book scene. It introduces this character who's a ranger. The mountains at night. It's cold. So this panel is with the first time where you realize that you can actually interact with some of the words on the page. This is one of the things that we're doing that's kind of new and exciting. In this case, you can tap on them to examine that particular word. So, and then in this section, you come across an abandoned camp. Again, you can examine the embers, and you can interact. You can examine the snow. There was a little animation. This is sort of a tutorial that teaches you if you drag words together, you can use them together. So this is a very classic point and click sort of adventure game format where you use something, the object with other object. In this case, we're going to, we're going to drag this torch word over on top of the embers. And then he says, I push the tip of the torch into the glowing embers, and this allows you to see the footprints that are around. At this point, the ranger realizes there's too many people to handle on his own. And he, this is a bit, but he says if he wants to live, he needs to walk away. There's just too many of them. And so this is where we have our big reveal. He has a sort of crisis of conscience. He says no, he won't go back on his word. He's the last ranger of the House Cambur, of the feared Grimwell clan. And his name is, and here's the big reveal, it's Timmy, right? So he's got his lunchbox strapped to his arm, and you realize as the reader that he's, like a kid. He's basically in school. And this is where we'll switch to top-down view. As you can see, you can move around. You can throw snowballs. And then you get this tutorial that teaches you how to shoot things, basically. So there's some auto-targeting that happens. And once you shoot 5 of these, which I'm going to do very quickly, you get to level 1. It says, nice, I'm getting pretty good at this. No time to celebrate. There's a passageway that opened to the south. And we can go down here. So here we go into another comic section, and you can interact with these kids. So here we are. Now we're in a snowball fight, and this is the action part of the game. We've got a tap fire button, which allows you to throw snowballs really quickly at your enemies. We actually implemented 2 control schemes, and based on the feedback we had with playtesting, we'll probably actually give players an option. We found that people who were used to a lot of mobile games really wanted a little bit more challenge than the multiple taps gave. And so we've got this other control scheme, which I'll show you right now, which is a twin stick type thing where you can strafe. There is still an auto-targeting system on it, but it's just a little bit more challenging. There's a little bit more tactical. you can run backwards and shoot at the same time. But again, it's something that, not everyone was comfortable with twin sticks. If you don't play a lot of console games, or, younger players really were found, manipulating both difficult. So there we go. So we have both implemented. So we've implemented a bunch of different types of puzzles in Snowballs and Sorcery. Some of them are typical, drag words on top of words. Some of them are a little bit more complicated. So for example, in this puzzle, you have some hockey gloves you're trying to get. So your objective is to find the enchanted gauntlets. And so, but you can't reach them. And so they're too high to reach. Maybe if I could climb on something. And in this puzzle, I've already solved part of this puzzle, but there's something that you have to do to make this cage of basketballs movable, because it's got something stuck under it. But then you can drag that into the other room, and then you'll see that the basketball cage actually appears in the text. Now there's intelligence built into here. This isn't hard-coded. So if you were to, say, pick up a chair from another part and drag it in, or if you pushed another character into that area, it would say next to the shelves there's, a desk or a chair and, Raj or whatever. So, but here you combine those two things, so you actually climb on the basketball cage and you get some armor. You get the hockey gloves, which act as armor. And this was something that we really wanted to do on, like, most of the puzzles. You're going to get something that helps you. Most of the text puzzles, you're going to get something that helps you in the action parts. So, you see that he's got an armor bar now. He's got these cool gloves. We want to reward people for doing the text parts. There's all kinds of different puzzles that we do. There's, you can give things to other, push things over to other kids and then give it to them. They can give you things. You've got an inventory. You can, mix and use things together in your inventory. And drag them out of your inventory and use them on other people. You'll get spells. You'll meet fascinating characters. And you can end up, the spells you can use in both modes. You can use it in the text mode, or you can use it eventually in top-down mode too. So now I'm going to show you one of the things that I think we're most excited about Snowballs and Sorcery. It's probably the most innovative and will be the most fun part of it, is the interplay between the two modes. So the stuff that you do in the comic view will affect the stuff you do in top-down view, and vice versa. And you can apply things up to you can apply spells and stuff to words in comic view and have it show up in when you're in fierce snowball battle. So just to demonstrate this, I'm going to do it. I'm cheating a little bit here. I'm going to do it on the computer, just because in order to make the demo a little bit better, we've given Timmy like a grow spell, which he actually can't get in the prototype, and that's just because when we were play testing, you have to design puzzles that make sense and that teach people things along the way, and so We didn't just want you to be able to pick up a grow spell and not have it make sense in the story, and not have a puzzle for it, and all that stuff, right? So I'll just show you now as an example of some of the stuff that you can do. That's pretty cool. So if I start this up, you're at a point in the story right here where you found the Green Army fort, and there's a leader there that you can talk to. You can start a fight with him, or you can not start a fight with him. But just to show you this mechanic, one of the really cool things you can do is, let's just go over here. We're going to pick up this desk, and we're going to drag it over here. And so when you talk to the Green Army Guard, you notice that it says nearby there's a desk. So what we have is sensors near these little portals that enter the comic book view that pick up any sort of what we're calling world objects, they're generic objects that you can grab. People also count. So if you pushed one of the other characters over there, he would show up. Just to show, I'm going to grab a chair too. And so here's where things get really interesting. So now I'm going to go in, this is the exciting part, I'm going to go into Tooney's inventory. I'm going to grab this shrink potion and drag it on to the leader. And parser would replace leader with tiny leader or something, and it says he's tiny now. But just to show you, I'm also going to grab this. This is our grow potion, which we've added just for this demo. And I'm going to make the chair super large, and it's been embiggened. Again, it would say large chair there. Now I could leave now and you would just see that these objects have changed size, but just to show a little bit more how this actually affects things in the different modes, I'm going to pick a fight with the leader. And now because the leader is tiny, he's going to throw really tiny little snowballs, and they're going to do less damage. So here we are, just quickly picking a fight. And when we leave, hey look, there's a really large chair, and there's our leader who's throwing really tiny snowballs. And you'll see that they actually, well, now he's reverted to his normal size, but for a second there they were only doing -4 damage instead of -8. So that's the part of Snowballs and Sorcery that we're most excited about, is the potential there to be able to affect things in the comic view, and have it affect the world, the top-down world that you're running through and fighting in. So that's it. That's our little Snowballs and Sorcery walkthrough. Hope you enjoyed it.